gentlemen, welcome to the 22nd National Conference on the theme Role of Engineers in Transforming India by Using AI and Cutting Edge Technologies and the 24th Foundation Eminent Engineers Award Function on this April 28, 2026. I now request our Chief Guest, Dr. Kirit Parikh, to please come on the stage, joined by Dr. Kohli, Chairman ECI, and Member Secretary Dr. P.R. Swaroop, who is also the Director General of Construction Industry Development Council. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. I am Ashutosh Bhardwaj, your host and host for the morning session. It's good to see smiling faces in the room. All of you have not done that exercise, please do that. That will make the rest of your day very pleasant. आप हंसें, जनाब. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, on behalf of the Engineering Council of India, I extend a warm welcome to all of you for the 22nd National Conference and the 24th Foundation Day celebrations. We are privileged to have with us distinguished dignitaries and guests who embody the spirit of engineering excellence. Engineers are not just builders of bridges and machines. They are architects of the nation's future. Today, with artificial intelligence and frontier technologies, they hold the key to India's transformation. Compliments to ECI for choosing a very pertinent theme for today's deliberations. Yes. AI is not only revolutionizing healthcare, agriculture, education and governance, but it is the engineers who are the ones designing, deploying and ensuring ethical use of these systems. Working on cutting-edge technologies like robotics, renewable energy systems, space exploration and smart infrastructure, when we connect these innovations to India's aspirations of becoming a global leader in technology and sustainability, we look up to our scientists and engineers. The national vision, tying the theme of Atmanirbhar Bharat and India's march towards a 5 trillion economy. Engineers are the tribe who are torchbearers of innovation, who will bridge tradition with modernity. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for the occasion and all our engineers and delegates who have assembled here. I welcome Dr. P.S. Rana, Chairman CIDC, on the stage. A big round of applause for him. May I now request Dr. Udesh Kohli, Chairman Engineering Council of India, to kindly welcome our Chief Guest, Dr. Kirit S. Parikh. Can we have the bouquet and the shawl, please? Bouquet.
Sir, please, sir. Sir. Thank you, sir.
Can we have the shawl, please? हमारे चीफ गेस्ट के इस्तकबाल के लिए तालियां जरा जोर दीजिए।
Sir, please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Parikh, for joining us today. Dr. Kirit S. Parikh stands as one of India's most distinguished engineer economists, blending technical mastery with visionary policy leadership. Holding a Doctor's of Science in Civil Engineering and a Master's in Economics from MIT, he has been a professor of economics since 1967 and has shaped generations of scholars and policymakers. He served as member of the Planning Commission, Government of India, and currently chairs the Integrated Research and Action for Development, New Delhi. As the founder director of the Indira Gandhi Institute of Development Research, Mumbai, he built one of India's foremost advanced research institutes. A fellow of the National Academy of Sciences, India, and recipient of the Padma Bhushan in 2009, Dr. Parikh embodies the rare blend of academic brilliance, institutional leadership, and public service. They were also supposed to be joined by Dr. Vinod Pal, Dr. Paul, member NITI Aayog, who was supposed to come, but due to the restructuring happening at NITI Aayog, he could not make it today. Now I request Dr. Kohli to please deliver the welcome address.
Dr. Rana, Dr. Suru, Lai, Dr. Goenka, Eminent awardee, here, eminent distinguished guests, engineers, my fellow engineers, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. For us it's a great occasion, 24th Foundation Day of ECI. If we carry on like this, next year we will be celebrating the Silver Jubilee, hopefully. Yes. As Ms. Palwai said, Dr. Vinod Paul was supposed to be with us today. I was an earlier member, now as a former member Niti Ayog, because the Niti Ayog has been reconstituted, and yesterday all the earlier members are handed over and new members are joined. So he is no longer a member and he is unable to come. Many of you know about ECI, some may not be knowing, particularly Dr. Goenka is with us for the first time. ECI was formed in 2002 by coming together of professional associations of engineers, several of them, including institutional engineers, but then we had mechanical engineers, civil engineers, electrical engineers, because they're all sort of disciplines, they have their own association. So it was at that time thought that we should have one umbrella organization which represents the entire engineering profession, whatever discipline it may be. That's how it came, and it has been working on various issues. One of the important issues is that we've been working with the engineers bill, because we don't have any legislation for engineers, unlike other professions, doctors, lawyers, dentists, pharmacists also, but architects, but not for engineers. We have been fighting for it for a long time, and the bill has gone to government and been discussed several times. It is yet to see the light of the day, hopefully one day. But in the meanwhile, we were advised by the then Ministry of HRD, now Education, that instead of waiting for the government body to be set up, why don't you start registering professional engineers? So we created National Register of Professional Engineers, and we started registering in several categories: senior professional engineer, associate professional engineer, and so on. And by now we have more than 5,000 on our register, and more expected than, and purely voluntary. But they all abide by the code of conduct and by the discipline which is required of the engineers. And for the first time this year, we are also awarding the Distinguished Engineer Award we are giving to the professional engineers, many of them who will be receiving this today, the first time, and this is a recognition of the professional engineer registered with us. And I will also suggested that all organizations who employ engineers, I think they should register their engineers. In fact, some of the organizations like CPWD and others, they have made it a condition in their contracts that contractors should have a given percentage, a specified percentage of engineers who are registered as professional engineers. So at least this is a recognition for the engineers and the engineering profession in the country. We are hoping that when the legislation comes, the engineers who are already registered with us may be recognized, we'll try to recognize by the statutory body if and when it is set up. Today we have about 34 member organizations in the Engineering Association of India, and I think you will find the name in the brochures and elsewhere. And we will request any other organizations of engineers, association engineers who are not the members to join us. It is only a federation type of organization. Only organizations can join. Individuals cannot join it because individuals are members of our member association. So they are represented through the member association. So there's a full day ahead of you, and we have combined this function into two. First is the foundation day, which is 10 to 11 o'clock, when the Eminent Engineer Awards are given. And these awards were instituted in 2012. And every year they have been given in two categories. One is the industry category and the other is research and consultancy category. So that is the first National Day. And thereafter, after the tea break, the second part will start, which is the national conference, which will go on till 5 o'clock. So wish you all the best during the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Kohli, for the warm address. May I now request Chairman CIDC, Dr. P.S. Rana, to kindly address the gathering.
The Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Kohli, the Chairman ECI, Mr. Dr. Soor, the Secretary ECI and Director General CIDC, all the VIP guests, all awardees, ladies and gentlemen. It is a surprise for me to be called for it because it was not planned, but I happen to be here. My association with the ECI is also along with Dr. Kohli and Surup from the beginning. So that privilege I have that we are trying to work how to bring the engineering profession in the limelight and practically what is the need of the engineers. And one of the landmark which was done by the ECI is the 6 months internship of the engineers before getting the degree. That was with the help of course, the ECI itself could not do it, so it has to be done with the authorized bodies of the government and other things which Dr. Kohli said. The engineering professions are so heterogeneous now. There are 24 bodies are already here. The specialization in each area, and we have to encourage each member associations to promote in their respective area how to bring more engineers into the fold as associations and to conduct the in-service programs so that obsolescence in our education is partly eliminated through continuing education. And I think these are the key messages which I want to give. And thank you and welcome you all for the
For the address. An eminent engineer is not merely a master of machines or mathematics. He is a nation builder, a visionary who transforms ideas into institutions and blueprints into legacies. Such individuals embody the rare blend of technical brilliance, leadership and social conscience. और आप लोगों के दीर्घायु और अच्छे स्वास्थ्य की कामना करते हुए हम आज के अवार्ड फंक्शन का आगाज करते हैं. It is my privilege to read the citation for our first awardee, Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka, Eminent Engineer Award 2025 in the Industry category. Dr. Pawan Kumar Goenka stands among India's foremost engineer statesmen with a career spanning over 4 decades across automotive, manufacturing and space. An IIT Kanpur graduate with advanced degrees from Cornell and Harvard, he began his career at General Motors before joining Mahindra & Mahindra in 1993, where he rose to be the CEO and spearheaded the creation of the iconic Scorpio SUV, proving India could design and build world-class vehicles. He has led industry bodies like SIAM, SAE, India and ARAI, and continues to shape national manufacturing competitiveness through SCALE and CII. Since 2022, as chairperson of InSpace, he has driven India's space reforms enabling startups, technology transfers, and the landmark Indian Space Policy 2023. Recipient of the Padma Shri in 2025 and numerous other international honors, Dr. Goenka serves on the board of IIT Madras and serves on other leading corporate boards as well. The Engineering Council of India proudly confers upon him the Eminent Engineer Awards 2025 in the industry categories. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating Dr. Goenka as he receives the Eminent Engineer Award. We are now
Sir, hold on, sir. Sir, Sir, सामने. Yes, sir, please.
Many years, when we were arguing about the fuel to be used for engines. At that time, we were on opposite side of the argument. I could convince all the ministers and IAS officers with my engineering arguments, but not Dr. Parekh, because he could argue with me on the engineering basis. But very nice to see Dr. Parekh, and thank you very much for all the contribution that you have made over the years. My friend Triranjan Swaroop, Dr. Kohli, Dr. Mehta Burma, and friends. I'm truly honored by this recognition by Engineering Council of India, especially when I look at the list of past awardees. I've been an engineer for 47 years. The first 14 years as hardcore R&D at General Motors in the USA, 12 years leading the R&D at Mahindra & Mahindra, culminating into the iconic Scorpio SUV. 16 years after that, around the bright engineers, both in engineering as well as manufacturing in Mahindra. And I guess Mahindra and Tata Motors, in some sense, defined the automotive R&D in India, of which I'm very proud that the two Indian companies have done that. And today, I'm last 4 years working with the best of minds in the country has to offer in terms of space scientists in ISRO. It's been a privilege to be an engineer for 47 years and not veer too far away from engineering, as unfortunately many engineers do, but not people in this room. And I can also say very honestly that if I was to start all over again, I will choose to be an engineer, and most likely to a mechanical engineer. I do believe that mechanical and civil engineering is still the foundation of engineering, even though a lot of glamorous branches have come in now. So thank you, ECI, for recognizing an eternal, lifelong engineer. Thank you very much.
May I now present the citation of our second awardee, Professor Mathukumalli Vidyasagar Eminent Engineer Award 2025 in the Research and Consultancy category. Professor Vidyasagar is a distinguished professor at IIT Hyderabad and is a rare engineer whose 57-year career spans academia, industry and government across India, Canada and the USA. A child prodigy, he earned his PhD at 21 and went on to lead pioneering institutions worldwide. He founded DRDO's Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics, played a key role in developing the Tejas fighter aircraft's control law, and helped liberalize India's internet access in 1999. Later at TCS, he established its Advanced Technology Center and during the pandemic, co-developed the Sutra model guiding national policy. A fellow of the Royal Society, one of only 4 Indian engineers ever elected, he has authored 13 influential books and continues to inspire generations of researchers. The Engineering Council of India proudly confers upon him the Eminent Engineers Award 2025 in the Research and Consultancy category. May I now request our dignitaries on the dais to kindly come in front. And since he is not here, his student with us will receive the award on his behalf.
Please, ma'am.
Can we have the award, please? एक बार जोरदार
Ma'am, सामने देखिए, sir, please. Sir, सामने देखिए, sir. Thank you, sir.
We have an electronic speech from Professor Vidyasagar,
Yes, sir, सामने देखिए,
which will be played for you on this.
Sir, please, सामने देखिए, sir. Thank you.
Can we have the speech, please?
I would like to thank the Engineering Council of India for having chosen me for the Eminent Engineer of the Year for the year 2025 in the category of Research and Consultancy. I am particularly grateful to the jury consisting of Dr. Mashirkar as the chairman, Mr. S. Ramadure, Dr. Anirudh. I would like to thank the Engineering Council of India for having chosen me for the Eminent Engineer of the Year for the year 2025 in the category of Research and Consultancy. I am particularly grateful to the jury consisting of Dr. Mashekar as the chairman, Mr. S. Ramdure, Dr. Aniruddha Pandit, Dr. T.C. Thomas, and Dr. Anand Deshpande as members for having chosen me. The email that was sent informing me that I was chosen also had a list of past winners. I looked through the list and it was truly a who's who of the engineering profession in India. Needless to say, I felt deeply flattered and humbled to have been included in such a distinguished company. The engineering profession in India offers both opportunities as well as challenges. Because the country is just now starting out on the path of development, there are many difficult problems to be tackled. However, for the same reason, any honest attempt to tackle these problems can lead to a feeling of deep satisfaction of having made some difference to the country. Right now, my wife and I are abroad and will return only in mid-May. Hence, I am unable to be present in Delhi on April 28 to receive the award in person on the foundation day. However, my colleague, Dr. Monica Agarwal from the Electrical Engineering Department of IIT Delhi, has graciously consented to receive the award on my behalf. I am very grateful to her for standing in for me and also to the Engineering Council of India for its flexibility in permitting a substitute to accept the award on my behalf. So once again, thanks to all concerned and namaskar.
Today, as we honor our eminent engineers, we recall the greatness is not only measured in awards or accolades, but in the blessings and service of the Almighty. कहते हैं जिन पर कृपा राम की होई, उन पर कृपा करे सब कोई. And so in celebrating their contributions, we celebrate the spirit of engineering itself, guided by vision, blessed by grace, and devoted to the nation's progress. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move over to the category Professional Engineer Awards, where we have 25 recipients, and may I call the dignitaries to kindly join us in front, and I'll call out the names one by one. We start with the first awardee, Dr. Asim Prasad. The next awardee, Dr. Saurabh Chaudhary.
Sir. Wait.
Awardee is Dr. P. Sudhir. Dr. P. Sudhir.
Sir, सामने के सर, सामने प्लीज सर, सामने. Sir, thank you sir.
Dr. P. Sudhir, can we have you on stage, please?
सर सामने के सामने.
The fourth awardee is Dr. Muhammad Ali Dar.
सर सामने के सारे. Yes, thank you.
Our fifth awardee will be Dr. Anil Kumar.
सर सामने के सामने सर सभी लोग सामने.
Dr. Anil Kumar.
सर सामने सर प्लीज सामने.
Dr. Anil Kumar is not here. Okay. So Dr. V. R. Senthil Kumar, you can please come up on the stage.
सर सामने के सर. यस प्लीज सर सामने सभी लोग सामने के सर. सर सामने सर. थैंक यू सर.
The next awardee will be Dr. K. Balasubramanian.
सर सामने
Dr. Balasubramanian.
सर सामने देखिए सर सामने देखिए सभी लोग सर थैंक यू सर
Our next awardee will be Engineer Indranil H.
सर प्लीज सामने
Engineer Indranil
Sir, सामने के साथ।
Arumugam, can we have you here?
वेट सर वेट
As I announce the name, you are requested to kindly move up ahead. Dr. Satish Kumar Boda. Dr. Satish Kumar.
सर सामने देखिए सामने सर सभी लोग सामने देखिए सर सर वेट
Dr. Satish Kumar Boda. Engineer Koda Siddharth Kumar.
सर प्लीज सर
Engineer Umesh Dhargalkar.
सर प्लीज सर
तालियों की ध्वनि नदारद हो गई। अब अच्छा लगा। शुगर पार्क में हो रहे योगासन में भी सिखाया जाता है, ताली बजाते हैं 20-20 के 6 राउंड। अगर आप करेंगे आपकी सेहत अच्छी रहेगी। इंजीनियर सनी समीर सुरलेकर। इंजीनियर कैलाश चौधरी। इंजीनियर कैलाश चौधरी।
सर
आप अगर रूम में उपस्थित हैं तो एक बार अपना हाथ उठा दिया करें। इंजीनियर कैलाश चौधरी। कैलाश चौधरी जी के बाद में इंजीनियर राजदीप भट्टाचार्य। इंजीनियर राजदीप भट्टाचार्य इज योर इन द रूम? यस प्लीज।
सर प्लीज सर थैंक यू सर
इंजीनियर राजदीप भट्टाचार्य। इंजीनियर शिखारा।
सर थैंक यू सर
इंजीनियर रॉबिन महाजन।
सर
इंजीनियर रॉबिन महाजन। इंजीनियर कैसार दिनियार। इंजीनियर कैसार दिनियार। इंजीनियर कैसार दिनियार, आर यू देयर इन द रूम? नो। इंजीनियर नीलेश शंकर चौहान। वर्मा निकेश कुमार। निकेश कुमार आप कमरे में हैं? Ladies and gentlemen, that brings us close to the awards in this category. A big round of applause. As we honor eminent engineers today, we celebrate not only their past achievements but also their promise to lead India into an era shaped by AI, innovation and human ingenuity.
Dr. Goenka, distinguished engineers in the audience. I'm delighted to be here. Actually, you know, Dr. Paul was supposed to be the chief guest, but last minute he decided not to come. And then Dr. Kohli asked me, and you know, since former members of the Planning Commission, ECI, a dime a dozen, I just accepted it, and here I am.
Now, I grew up in Ahmedabad, went to Gujarat University, did my BA Civil, then I went to IIT Kharagpur, did MTech, then MIT where I did my PhD in engineering as well as in economics. I got a master's degree. I started programming in 1957 at MIT, since before Fortran was invented in a sense. And I must say that at that time, there are two professors at MIT who were talking about artificial intelligence. Professor Marvin Minsky, and I forget the name of the other, just escapes me. But they were both pioneers in this area. But we expected that artificial intelligence, machine translation, etc., become very common by 2020, by 2000. That was, I'm saying, I was talking about 1957. So I think, but it didn't happen. It required a lot more effort and understanding. And we now see today, artificial intelligence, AI has become a huge development, and it can be very useful in many ways. And I think I'm sure engineers would make best use of it in many ways. You know, I think in economic growth, if you see countries around the world, they always say that the growth will depend on technical progress. How much technical progress takes place, how much total factor productivity increases, that is an important element of economic growth. And I think mostly this is contributed by innovators and people who really have some new ideas and implement them. And I would argue that engineers have played a huge role in this around the world. And some of them have really become leaders of the business as well. We have examples in India also, like in Narayan Murthy, Nandan Nilekani, and so on. And I think around the world also we can see that innovators have really become very dominant and very rich as well. Unfortunately, I think in India, engineers don't get the kind of recognition they deserve. And I think partly simply because at one stage they were really, too involved in the technical aspects and didn't appreciate the economic and social consequences of it. So when in the SSC exam, that's the secondary school certificate exam, I stood first in the entire Bombay presidency, that time Gujarat Maharashtra combined. And my principal came to me and said, "Kiri, what do you plan to be?" Those days it was fashionable to be engineer, so I said engineering. And then he said, "Why don't you go and become an economist? Because the country will need economists as well." And that kind of stayed in my mind. And at MIT things were very flexible. While I was doing my PhD thesis, I was able to take all the courses in engineering, in economics, theory, macro, etc., development and so on. So by the time I finished my PhD thesis, I had enough credit to get a master's degree. And then I worked as a research associate in economics at MIT for some years. And then I came to India and joined the Planning Commission. I'm telling all this to say that, having a background in both the economics and this really gives a perspective which really helps you in making a mark in this economy. And we've seen that also, that many engineers now do MBA afterwards. it is somewhat unfortunate that we give up engineering completely, but certainly I think they are able to see the context of what they can do in a much better way. So I'm delighted to be here. The Engineering Council of India is celebrating leaders in business and also leaders in research and education. And I'm sure that this award is given to all the distinguished engineers who would really encourage many of them others to do as well as they can. But it's quite clear that artificial intelligence is going to play a huge role in development, in innovation, and so on. Now, you know, if you ask ChatGPT or Google Gemini, let's say, what is the most important thing you need to do now? That will give some kind of blurry ideas about what it is. But that is not what is more important about artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence collects all kinds of data and gives it to you, so that you are able to filter out yourself what is important, what is missing, and what needs to be done. And that way your efforts and work is focused more in what is required and where you can make a difference. And so I think at least that is the state of artificial intelligence is today, because in 2000 we didn't think artificial intelligence, 1950s we didn't think artificial intelligence would come to become this far, because in those days the translation you did that the flesh is weak, etc. Then it would say the meat is stale, and so on. So that's the kind of thing that was happening in those days. But I do believe that now the translation that they do is so much context specific and done well. And that's largely because two innovations that are taking place. One is huge amount of computing power. At MIT, the computer I work on, IBM 704, occupied a room like this, or even more space than that. And it had total memory capacity was 32,000 words, and in which you have to have your program, your data, your operating system, and everything. And there are a battery of tapes were there where you can put data and bring it back and so on. That took time, however, and so on. Nonetheless, I would say that, I did my economics model on planning for India, and that was a simple linear programming model with some 250 constraints, and it took 4 hours to run on the MIT's computer. And I used to get time only at night. So I think that's the kind of progress that things have made here. Technology has progressed, but this huge computer speed and the huge amount of data that is available, that has made artificial intelligence possible. And I think that is what we should really use it to focus our actions in a more directed and purposive way. I wish you all the best of luck. Thank you very much.
The AI does provide us a lot of data points, but we should know how to dig into it. All of us as individuals have our own leverage on AI at the moment, our own thought processes. But the bottom line is that AI does provide a lot of data points which helps us create the bigger picture in a faster and more effective manner. So it's the heady mix of AI and HI, the human intelligence, that will drive the future. With these words, I would like to invite Dr. P.R. Swaroop, Director General CIDC and Member Secretary ECI, to come and deliver his address. Dr. P.R. Swaroop, please.
General Jutwani and Kaisa. Kaisa, you were late, and that is how you have missed it, but you just made it in time. The people who are winning the award, they are still here. You never get late again. All right, so I have two blessings in my life, and let me share those with you. Number one, I still have a very good range of my teachers who keep on teaching me every day what to do and what not to do. I'll start with Dr. Kohli, who had been our chairman and now chairman emeritus, had served long stints with the Planning Commission and Ministry of Power, and he also is a specialist in financing and the money matters. Runs the financial institutions. Dr. Parekh was a sudden discovery almost like about 15 or 16 years ago, and when I sat down with him, I realized that this is somebody I have to emulate. And I'll give you a good reason for that. And then comes Dr. Rana, who also has been like a good teacher to me. And as the head of the financial institution, he told me many things about financial risk and other things and how to cover, which resulted into the risk screening and review, which we did for 10 long years with ICRA to basically let the banks and the institutions know. The second blessing is even better. I'm so happy. This takes me back to almost 56 years. It was in 1970 that I had many of my friends who are all sitting here today. Many of them. I will start with Pawan. We were together there in Hall 2, Pawan. Hall 3. You were in Hall 3, I was in Hall 2. And then we have Rakesh Malhotra, Dr. Rakesh Malhotra. We have Somnath Ghosh. We have Binaranjan Jain, and few more. With the passage of time, sometimes it is very difficult to recognize really, so we look at each other's eye and say, oh, that's you are. So it's so lucky to have all the friends around. And there was something which also tells me that all of us, we have been extremely fortunate to have been taught by some of the best teachers anywhere in the world. Say for an example, the chemistry was taught to us by none other than Bharat Ratna, Dr. C.N.R. Rao. You remember, Paul? He used to be just jumping around the L7 hall and shouting. And then, of course, he cried on the day Sir C.V. Raman passed away. We still remember that. Because Dr. Rao happened to be one of the favorite students of Sir C.V. Raman. So the legacy continued. And this is what basically was transferred to us. There were many more. As a matter of fact, we were so fortunate that all the teachers were wonderful. Dr. Parekh, you remembered IBM 7044. My friends are all here, and they will endorse that we were so fortunate to have the first computer center anywhere in the country after Apsara outfit. And that was IBM 1427. 1620? First generation. And by the time we graduated, we had graduated to IBM 7044 also. I still remember punching the cards and making the programs and going around and doing things. So it has taken me down the memory lane quite a lot. There was one more very interesting thing that happened with us while we were being taught there. We had total 550 credit points to graduate. 550 credit points. And my friends and batchmates, they will endorse that out of that, 220 points were actually attributed to humanities and social sciences. Not many of us realize that, microeconomics, macroeconomics, sociology, demography, all these things were being taught, philosophy, and several more things, logic or whatever you have. And some of us, we used to be asking questions that we are going to be graduating as engineers. Why are we studying these subjects which are supposed to be taught in the university to the BA and MA students? After all, you know, we were IITians. And they told us very clearly on day one, Pawan will endorse that. In L7, when they assembled us, on the orientation day, they said, you are the cream of India. Am I right, Pawan? Well, so suddenly, you see, there are many senior people who are saying that you are cream of India. You got to believe them. So we thought that yes, we are truly cream of India and we are going to do the best. Another thing very interesting is that in our batch, many of our batchmates, they went abroad, they got educated like Pawan, and they came back to India. That applies to me also. And we thought that this is where we have to work. And this is what we have to do. So that's wonderful. Now, Dr. Kohli spoke about engineers being professional engineers. What do we really mean by engineers being professional engineers? That's a very major question. Merely getting a degree from an institute, getting a PhD from an institute, does not make you a professional engineer. To become a true professional engineer, you have to read, you have to study, and you also have to teach. Because engineering is something which is very unique. As a civil engineer, I can tell you with certainty, and Pawan will endorse when it comes to manufacturing process, that everything will have a very, very unique and kaleidoscopic type of combination. It never repeats. One project is very different as compared to the other project. And what are the kind of problems you have? The problems are related to human resources. The problems are related to finance management. The problem is also related to social and cultural management of the people. Not everybody is like everybody. They are all very different. And therefore, we have to really look into that. And as a professional engineer, all we say is study, read, and teach. This is the next thing which is very important. The wisdom and knowledge only flows when you study, read, assimilate, analyze, and then teach also. I am very happy that many of our professional engineers here, they are sharing their knowledge and information which come from variety of verticals. That could be setting up a manufacturing unit, that could be setting up of a water treatment plant, that could be even setting up of a hospital. We need to understand that healthcare infrastructure needs a very special look. You cannot have a 5-star hotel-like hospital created there. It has to be very different in the functionalities. So these are the kind of things. I can go on and on, but what I mean to say, it is all hybridization. The branches, the specializations you have, they are just the entry points. The real knowledge lies elsewhere. And that only can come when you study, read, and teach. And that is precisely what our engineers are doing. I am inviting all of you to also become a professor of practice. Teach wherever, whichever domain you are in. And believe you me, it is not about the money. There is a huge, huge challenge ahead of us, which very interestingly people are not noticing. Majority of our infrastructure projects are getting delayed, suffering from time and cost overrun. Many of the quality issues that you have there, which is causing the nation a big drain on the resources. And much of it has been followed. But forget about domestic situation. Are we not able to see a scenario where the war-torn areas, like Ukraine, like Iran, like Iraq of course is slightly clear, but even in European countries and Middle East of course, the entire Middle East, it is being totally razed to ground. And just go through the history. Second World War, when it ended, The biggest employment avenue, the biggest business avenue came out of martial rehabilitation. Where are the people to build out that? We need to create people. And it is our responsibility as the most populous country on the earth that we have to have our young people getting into that. There are some very interesting, innovative programs that we have launched. It is like, I just name it, it is called Bachelor of Vocation, leading to Master of Vocation, where what we are doing is, we are converting the workers, may they be in manufacturing or may they be in construction or anywhere. We are converting them into practical engineers. 6 universities are joining hands. This is a small initiative we have made, but I am very sure that all of you are going to take across the method and make sure that it is implemented within the network that you are working in. We need people. 21.5 crore persons are needed if we have to execute the work within the country. And how many we have? 2.5. That's the scenario. And when we talk about international projects, we need multiple numbers. Go to United States, see their interstate highways, see their bridges. They are all rotting, breaking. Who's going to be constructing all that? I'm so happy General Saab is here, and we are trying to convert our military engineer services junior officers into the field staff. So that's a responsibility that all of us collectively will have to take. So with that kind of small call, I would not call it a clarion call, I would just say a small call. I think let's all be together. Let's do some good work. Make sure that we are proud of the nation. I know there are many limitations, many handicaps. But for an Indian, I don't think limitations ever stop them. Thank you so much. God bless you all.
The mantra of SRT, study, read and teach. तो आइए हम लोग इस पे अमल करते हैं, पढ़ते हैं, अध्ययन करते हैं और पढ़ाने का कार्य भी करते हैं। आप में से 3 इंजीनियर जो लेट आए हैं, मैं उनके नाम ले रहा हूं। दे कैन कम एंड कलेक्ट देयर अवार्ड। इंजीनियर डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार, डॉक्टर अनिल कुमार तो नहीं आए हैं भाई। डॉक्टर कैजाद, इंजीनियर कैजाद दिनियार इंजीनियर, या ही इज हियर।
Can we have Dr. Engineer Kaizad's trophy, please? Dr. Anil Kumar.
सर सर प्लीज सामने सर। सर वेट सर सामने देखिए सर, सामने सर। यस सर, थैंक यू।
Engineer Nilesh Kumar Chauhan. Next award for Mr. Nilesh Kumar Chauhan.
सर सामने सर, सामने सर। यस प्लीज, थैंक यू सर।
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we conclude the inaugural session. Please join us for tea and coffee outside the hall. आप लोग अपना मोबाइल जो आपने साइलेंट पे रखा है उसे ऑन करें, या आपने बंद कर रखा तो उसे खोल लें। फेसबुक, लिंक्डइन, सारे सोशल मीडिया पे जम के आप लोग #इंजीनियरिंग काउंसिल ऑफ इंडिया अवार्ड्स को ट्वीट करें। थैंक यू सो मच।